This is Unpopular Review. This is the NXT review show. NXT went off the air, and we're here to talk about all things NXT for tonight's episode. We had the show opened with a 6-woman tag match, which I think was fantastic. Kelani Jordon, as you could tell by the picture, she's not the same good gal anymore. She's bad gal Kelani, and we are going to talk about that Trick and Rick segment. And also, you say his name, he appears. And if you ask me, he seemed like he appears a lot on NXT. More on NXT than TNA. But we're going to talk about NXT. Hey, this is Unpopular Review. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. It helps us out completely. And we will talk NXT after this fantastic intro. I mean, the intro is done, and I think I did the introduction. But I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Pooba, and I'm joined with the sensational Sabrina Estella. We see you guys in the chat. We're going to talk to you guys in a minute. But real quick, Sabrina Estella, tell the people watching, how the heck are you?
I'm doing okay. Some news hit yesterday that kind of hit pretty hard a little bit for myself and a lot of people that I know, especially the person that brought me onto the program, EC, someone that we both know since going to indie shows and such, the person that basically inspired me to become the camera person that I am now on YouTube, unfortunately passed.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And he has affected a lot of people in a good way from the hard work that he put into putting on the recording matches for people, putting them up on there. This is someone who told me I could surpass them one day, not knowing that they were going to leave so soon from this world. But for Carlos, LeBron, Tattoo, myself, to EC as well, because EC known him for a very long time as well. The technician, David, knew him as well. And a lot of the indie wrestlers that knew him throughout all his time being in the scene, we love and miss you, and we wish you the best. They're not having a service. They're sending his body back over to be with his family over in Puerto Rico, where he's originally from.
Wow, I'm very sorry to hear that. Before we started the show, you was saying there was some news, and I didn't know if you felt comfortable saying anything. That's why I just said, hey, just sending positive energy your way. But very sorry to hear about that. And, we send nothing but love and support and positive energy to his family in this time and anybody who got the opportunity to know this individual. He sounded like he was a great guy. So send him much, much positive energy that way. And we're going to do the best to, because that news sucks.
High spirits for him because he always did like to joke around and such with.
We're going to make sure this show, and we're going to keep the show going, and we're going to make it a positive show. We're going to still have a good jolly time. So we're going to make this a tribute to him, and we're going to make this show very, very fun and like how we usually do. We just want to hit you guys in the chat before we talk about some NXT here. We got George, real quick, George, I always sit here and say this, I'll say it again. You're always the first in the chat. I mean, sometimes sometimes you've missed a few times, but most of the time you're always in there. But he says, good evening, everyone. He also says NXT was pretty good tonight. We got Jay. I don't think I've ever seen this individual before, so it seemed like you're brand new, but he says, am I late to the party? But why is Trick still in NXT?
Because Trick an NXT signed talent. Have you been living under a rock? Just because you win a championship of another company does not automatically mean you go to that company. Just ask Kelani. Just ask Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. Just ask Dominic Mysterio.
I do want to actually talk about that. I think it's actually pretty hilarious because since the WWE have been partnering with TNA, AAA, I guess they own Evolve, right? But like I see at the end, you see Ethan and Chelsea with the championships, and I said, it's just, I don't know, it just found funny to me. They have these partnerships, and all these WWE talents are winning like the other company's championship. Like Dominic Mysterio is the Mega AAA champion, and he has 2 belts. It's I don't know. I just think it's quite funny. But Trick is still in NXT because they don't have anything from the main roster. But I think in 2026, I think we're having a different conversation. So let him stay in NXT for a bit. I think I think we're towards the end here with Trick. We got Jeffrey. Yes, good girl gone bad. I just felt like that sounded like that was the perfect title for this. So yes, good girl gone bad. We got George. He says, "Pray for my city because there was a plane crash at my." Wow, that sucks. So yes, definitely sending positive energy to your city. Jeffrey says, "What's up, UPR crew? What's going on, Jeffrey? I feel like I've been seeing Jeffrey. I saw him on Saturday. Shout out to him. He was in the chat when we did the Big Pop when we were reviewing Saturday in the main event. So thank you for always stopping by, Jeffrey. It's always great to see you. I kind of want to see how Kelani Jordon does as a heel. We're going to talk about that. Jeffrey sends his condolences to the person. Same thing with George. He says, "Oh wow, that's sad. Prayers to his family." We got Good Chris in the chat. He says, "Hi, beautiful Sabrina Estella and handsome, the great Grand Slam Pooba. Thank you." And he says, "There's nothing left for Trick Williams." No, I mean, he's pretty much at the end. I mean, you could, but my whole thing is, if you call him up, do you have something for him? I don't want you just to call him up just because, like, oh, there's nothing left. I mean, have something for him. I think he's a play. He could be a player on the main roster. But I agree, there is nothing left for him on NXT. And then he says, "I gotta support my guys." Thank you. But, we had some things happen on NXT. Do you want to take the floor here to start this party going?
Well, to start things off, we had a 6-woman tag match with Fatal Influence versus the Culling and Lola Vice. And it started off with Fatal Influence taking control very quickly, starting off on Lola, going back and forth with some quick tags. And as before we knew it, some tags made into the Culling, and they were working Laney over, and she gets a super kick to Tatum, tags in Fallon, and they just keep going back and forth, hits her in the elbow, hits her in the spine with her elbow, and they just go back and forth, and it was just the insanity at its finest. And we get some blind tags out of nowhere. Only for a brief moment you would have to see that they tagged. JC and Izzy tagged. And Izzy was trying to tell Tatum that she did that to help her, to ensure that they would win. JC hits her with the standing ovation and gets the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, this is the part where I talk here. Okay, cool. I want to start off with this picture right here. Laughs and motherfucker. I love when the good guys win. JC Jane, who was robbed at Halloween Havoc. I'll keep saying this until there is justice for JC. I love this. And honestly, if I'm being honest here, these women, they had their working boots on because that was a really good opener. I thought all the girls were out there busting their ass. I thought it was a solid open. But anytime JC wins, I laugh because I'm pretty sure there's people who said, "Oh, she's gonna lose, beatable champion, blah blah blah," and all this stuff. But this is great stuff. The Rolling Encore, which is a good move. It's a really fantastic move. 2K25, please make the animation for that move because that would be a move. Maybe in 22, what's it called? 2K26. I'll add it to my repertoire of moves. I don't know if you guys know this. I've made a lucha version of myself in 2K. He's called how do you say Jaguar in Spanish, Sabrina Estella? Because it might sound cooler in Spanish than English.
Jaguar. I don't remember the exact word. It's not my first language. Spanish is not my first language. So.
Oh. Well,
I was born in America. I grew up watching TV. That's how I learned English.
Me too. I learned English like 2 days ago. But I wanted to sit here and say that I have dubbed him the Red Jaguar. Instead of Jag, it's Jack because it's me underneath the mask.
No, if you say it like that, then that's your own twist on it. No need to do it in Spanish. I think.
But it sounds so good in another language. Like have you ever heard something and you're like, "Ooh, that sounds so good in another language." That's why I wanted to know it so I could make some merch about it. But understood.
Just say it like Jaguar. we pronounce the J slightly like H's depending on the word, but it's
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I thought you just called me a hog. I was gonna say, wow, we're off to a great start.
I would never.
Thank you, Sabrina Estella. But I thought the match was good. I thought it was a great open, and I think this leads to JC getting a rematch. I think she deserves. Obviously, you guys know she deserved to get a rematch. We got where is Mr. Cat? He's in the kitchen somewhere. I might get him later, and we'll make sure to have Mr. Cat appearance. George. We got Good Chris. He says JC Jane is not a good girl. She's a bad girl. No, she is the girl. Good Chris. She is the gal. We got our co-host. We hope that you are recovering well. Maddog Kelly, how are you, sir? We hope that you are well. Chat, please say hi to Maddog. We should be having him back next week. George said he thought this would have been the main event. Yeah, because JC's always in the main event, right? I agree with you. I think you're starting to see the light, George. And if you're not, you might need to go to the doctor because you sound like you're blind. But what else do we have here, Sabrina Estella here? Right? Because I could brag and talk all about JC, but we'll talk about her later.
So after that, we get a quick promo with Los Americanos, which they're talking in Spanish, which I feel like it's just like dubbed voiceover because I don't know how many of them actually do know Spanish. But if they do, props to them. If they don't, they probably just dubbed it over. But anyways, they go through Josh Briggs' stuff, and they come over all upset, which wouldn't you be upset if some random guys who you didn't know were going through your stuff and touching your stuff back there in the locker room when you're coming back?
Got it right.
And he says he makes money putting down fan favorites like them. And I just thought, well, I don't know who is fan favorites. Los Americanos, because they're not my favorite. But anyways, he challenges him to a match. No title, no time limit, no pity. And then we get the match happening.
You know, I just wanted to touch real quick. Because George is saying they don't know any Spanish. I think Ludwig actually do speak Spanish. I've heard him. Like there've been segments where he would talk, and he's very. I'm just impressed how fluent he is. I don't understand what's going on because I was terrible at Spanish. My favorite word in Spanish is rojo, which is red. It's a simple word. That's all I need to know. But he seemed like he's really much. I don't know about the other two, Americano 1 or 2, or I don't know. I don't even know what their names. I just say red and 2.
Rojo and Azul.
That's blue. Is that blue?
Exactly. You got it.
I'm so proud. I right about now I would pass 6th grade Spanish because I would get that. Como ampo, that means good morning, right? I want to make sure I got this correct.
What did you say?
Como ampo stew? I know there was someone with a stew.
No, that's asking what's your name.
Oh, well, thank God I'm not saying that out loud because people would have said, why do you want to know my name?
Buenos dias.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to improve on my Spanish. That's probably going to be the new thing here. Spanish with Jack. But carry on about the match.
But anyway, after that, we get a Twitter promo from TNA's Lei Yingli, accusing Kelani Jordon of bringing shame to the Knockouts division. And she says that she wants to challenge Kelani for the belt and is vowing to bring the title back and vowing to bring honor back to the title, which is basically what she had said.
You know, it's a lot of nerve, though, for her to sit here and call out Kelani. Look, I still think Kelani is a traitor. I still believe that kind of stuff. But I sit here and I'm looking at Lane Ying, and I'm like, wasn't you part of a group and y'all killed somebody or something like that? Because I remember they had that very old lady. She was like 1,000 years old or something like that. And there was always smoke and everything like that. I'm just saying, you know, she's trying to act like she's a really decent person, but she's not. And I also remember her on SmackDown. She says, I am the protector. And then she stopped protecting people. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she did that, but she just started doing that. But all I'm saying is she has a dark checkered past too. That's what I'm trying to get at. So leave Kelani alone. She's going through her phase.
Anyways, we have the Ren QCC backstage with Ren, Kendall, Carmen, and Tyra May Steele, which Ren is congratulating Kendall for her win last week. And she says, I'm going to win my tournament match tonight. And Carmen and Tyra May, of course, encourage her and agree. Kelani comes up to them and tells them, I used to be just like you, but you really need to hear what I have to say. So she had a little back and forth with Tyra, and she called her out asking for a shot at the belt, and she's like, no, you're not worth my time, basically. So she gets out into the ring and gets on the mic. And she says, last week, I did everything I could to keep the Knockouts title by any means necessary. You could say it was a bit out of character for a champion, completely forgetting the fact that Dominic Mysterio is a double champion, and B, also does the same stuff over and over again. So
just like his dad, yep.
And the crowd boos her, and we do hear a lot of shut the F up chants and like we don't care and all that stuff. And she asks, why do y'all cheer Dominic for cheating and you cheer for Cody Rhodes still even after he uses the belt against Drew? But it's a problem when it's with me. And she mentions about Lola going to AAA, gets nothing but love, and I go to TNA and get hated on, get kicked out of the locker room by a woman who hasn't done half of what she has, and that she's been the standout from in NXT from day one since her tryout in Nashville 3 years ago. She says Jordynne Grace got nothing but boos until she attacked her, and now they're cheering her. She said the NXT universe isn't fans, they're followers, and it's time for her to be selfish. Gold Rush is coming up, but she's not defending that title. She is staying home because nobody in the TNA locker room earned it, and nobody in the NXT locker room earned it. She sees Lei Ying Lee talking, but she's not even on her radar, and she's already beaten her. Call her traitor, disloyal, whatever you want, but you will call her champion. And I think she made some very fair points. First of all, if y'all are going to cheer Dominic Mysterio, who's a notorious cheater, and you're going to cheer for Cody Rhodes, who is the all-American, like bright-eyed, super positive, good guy face, who does the same thing by hitting Drew in the face, but because it's a quote-unquote fan favorite and Jordynne Grace, it's a problem now? Or is it because she is a lady?
I'm glad that you pulled that card out, because I was getting ready to say if that was me, I would definitely pull out I'm a lady, and I would have said, why you guys have a problem with me doing it? Is it because, oh, we won't go there?
I used to be the nice girl, and now that I'm growing a backbone and doing what I want to do, I'm a horrible person now?
There we go. You know, this promo, I thought, so I'll be honest, I saw your tweet about this, Jeffrey, because I just spy on Twitter half the time. I'm just there. But like I saw something you wrote and you was like, I can't boo this girl. And I feel the same way, because it's just like, how do you boo Kelani? Like, she's just such a sweetheart. And also too, she had glitter on her body. And I said, I'm not gonna boo someone with glitter. But I thought the promo, it was fine for what it was. I thought that she seemed like she's still trying to find her groove as a heel, because this is a whole new frontier for her. There's a whole new role for her. And I just felt like she kind of felt a little uncomfortable. But I'm interested in seeing if she can knock it out the park. I always think about Roxanne Perez when she turned heel, and I just didn't think that was a smart move. And now I can't even see her as a babyface, because I think she's so snug. And maybe Kelani have some heel in her body. But I don't know. It was like I was just like maybe a few more reps here and she'll nail it here. But yeah, not bad.
So, anyways, we get OTM being interviewed backstage, and they say, we're not chasing dreams anymore. We're taking it, and we're coming for everybody in that locker room and stepping on every foot that gets in their way. We don't have to yell anymore. We've learned to speak volumes with a whisper, and they are the silence that shakes the room. Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors rolls up to say that they haven't forgotten what happens, and they just go back and like basically talk trash to them. And Andre Chase comes in and asks, do you really think pissing OTM off is the move? And have you listened to a single word I've said? You'd have to agree with Andre Chase. I mean, trying to provoke OTM is like poking a sleeping bear. It's a bad idea.
I'm never gonna agree on Andre Chase. Why is this school still around? I was promised that it was gonna go out of like defunct, and it never happened. I'm sorry. This is my reaction anytime I see anything with Chase Shur right here. Yes, with a cigarette in my hand, and I don't even smoke cigarettes. So you know, like I like OTM's attitude. I love that they're not yelling. They just have a different vibe to them. Um, the school, you know, like I don't know. I'm just tired of Andre Chase. If I could, I would just throw a bear at him. But carry on.
And after that, we get El Grande Americano, who apparently people like now. I'm just like, when did this happen? But it's whatever. Versus Josh Briggs. And this match was fine. It was a decent match. I didn't really care too much for it, honestly. We had
sorry, go ahead. I thought you were
we
done.
had Jasper Troy come in. He was in the crowd. He was shaking his chains. We had Tavion Heights coming in, running interference, taking on Rayo and Bravo Americano. And with the Steiner recliner, El Grande Americano won by submission.
You know, so a few things here, right? And we're gonna get to the chat because we see you guys in the chat. So thank you guys for being in the chat. A few things. Josh Briggs' vest always impressed me. I just wonder. So when I was out there some time ago out there in Florida, and I hung out with EC, and shout out to friend of the show Mike Knott, and I think we went to like Applebee's or TGIF. I don't know. It was one of those stores, those restaurants. I just imagined in my head, I said, I want to know if Josh Briggs just goes to restaurants like this. Like, he just has the skull and just smoke coming out of everywhere. Like, I would love to see that. Like, if I was at a table at Applebee's or Five Guys or whatever this place is called, I would immediately be like, I'm buying you a beverage because that is some cool shit. So I just wanted to talk about the vest because I just think it's cool. It's a skull with smoke coming out. Like, why is this not being sold anywhere? Anyway, the match was fine. Ludwig is really, really good at what he does. He did this arm drag that was just so freaking sweet. Like, it was so crisp when he did it. And I was just like, damn, he's good. And he's been knocking it out the park with this role and stuff. I did get confused at one point because I heard, so you hear Jasper Troy's change, but you're not. I thought my TV was malfunctioning. I didn't know what was happening here. I was very concerned about my TV, and I see this big tall man. This. I wonder what's this. Like, what do? You're just big. You're just a tree. You're just a violent tree. I just laugh because he's a big tree who just swings at people. Remind me of them damn trees, but much bigger. If anyone remember Legends of the Hidden Temple, and when you go into I forgot, see, you remember, you get it. I forgot what it's called.
Growing up, of course I remember it. I wanted to be on it so badly.
I wanted to be the Red Jaguars. I wanted to be that so bad. I tell you that every chance I get.
That's why your name is the Red Jaguar, because of the show.
There we go. Childhood, and that's how my lucha name happened. I'm gonna one day write a lore on the Red Jaguar.
The lore. I look forward to reading.
Ooh, that's good, and I'm gonna have to start writing that soon. I was reading the thing, but yeah, he comes out there and he's doing the stuff with the chain, and it just threw me off so much until they showed him. Tavion Heights coming out. I know they got a whole beef, him and Briggs. I forgot even what happened. I don't know. Did he spill coffee on him or something like that? Oh no, that was Chris Jericho and Kane, 2000. I'm sorry, I'm showing my age here, which was a funny feud in itself because he just spilled coffee and Kane wanted to fight Jericho. Back then, wrestlers fought for no reason.
I mean, some of them still kind of do now.
This is true.
It's called they're bored and they have nothing else to do backstage.
This is true. Let's get to some of these chats real quick. Jeffrey said, we love a good Spy Jack. Spy Jack. That sounds like a cool name. We got OTM versus Darkstate for the NXT champ. I don't think it's going to be OTM against Darkstate. I think it's going to be another team because OTM is a heel, so I don't think they're going to go that route. We got agreed, Jack. I think they're just agreeing because of this damn school. I'm just tired of them. Like, why? I was promised that this school would be defunct, and it keep coming back. And and honestly, if I'm being real, Chase, you don't feel like Chase you anymore. Um, I'm just get rid of the school. This is my reaction when I see JC Jane. Well, no one asked for your input, George. You're not. No one asked for that. Jog Brigg is a career jobber. I don't know about career jobber. I think that he's not high on the totem pole, but they throw him out there every now and then, and he could do his job well. But I don't think jobber shaking his chain as a signal to steal someone's lunch money. Booker T was laughing in the match saying Ola. Yeah, he was like Ola. He was just yelling, and I just thought it was so hilarious. I was just like, Book, please, just be quiet. And truly, and trying to speak Spanish. Yeah, they better not put the WWE speech. I don't see that happening. I think El Grande is keeping that belt. I don't see them putting it on Jasper Troy.
I mean, with them two backup he has, I mean.
Oh, you talking about Americano Red and Blue? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. But he was over in that crowd. I did like the little hand thing he was doing like this. It was almost like kiss the hand and stuff like that. I just gotta say, I just think that he's been really killing it as I don't watch AAA or anything like that, but I hear reports and I'll hear things like when he go down there, there's just he gets a lot of love down there. So I think that's really, really cool.
But anyways, after that, we do get Kelani rolling up on the Ren QCC, and they're going back and forth. And Ava wants to talk to Kelani in private, but Kelani wanted to talk right now. And Ava tells her that whether or not you defend that Gold Rush is not your decision. And Kelani says, it ain't yours either. You don't run TNA. Tyra May comes over and they start jabbing back and forth. And Ava admits, I don't run TNA, but I run NXT. So we're going to have a match between you and Tyra.
What's the whole Tyra May Steele, right? Because I saw someone in the chat say
that should just be Tyra Steele. It doesn't have the same thing as Tyra May Steele.
It's a long-winded name. But that's fine. Okay, that's cool. I don't really know big thoughts about it, so we get to that match eventually. But what do we have next on the docket?
So Ricky Saints runs into Miles Bourne real quickly. Miles says, "Can you do me a favor, save a piece of trick for me next week so I can get my hands on him?" And they're like, "Let's go." And we get a quick little footage of Chelsea Green and Ethan Page winning the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships from La Hedra and Mr. Iguana. And then we get Ricky and Trick doing a satellite interview. Trick insists that Ricky isn't fit to carry the title the way he did. And Ricky points out, you threw a tantrum on live TV about losing, instead of accepting your loss like a man. Because your ego can't handle being second best. Trick says that's because he's second to none and insists that Saints knows nothing about carrying NXT. Ricky says, you've been one foot in, one foot out of NXT before I showed up, and I can take NXT to heights that you failed to do so. You take everything for granted. I don't. Trick says he doesn't understand, and Ricky looks like a fan. And if he wants a title, he should buy a replica off WWE Shop, and he's bigger and better. And on Tuesday, he will be the last man standing. And Ricky says, you wear your delusion well, and I'm done with the talking, and I don't want to wait till next week. And they both get up to go look for each other.
No, that's funny. That's good stuff here. I missed this. I stepped away for a minute. I wanted to heat something up because I was just like, I like food, but I do believe that these gentlemen had a lot of intensity into this and put enough steam in for the next.
It definitely gave off Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins.
Satellite. I was saying. Wait, no one said something about you. Did you get a divorce because they didn't want to see your bitch ass anymore? I mean, that was I still laugh at that. Because like, why would you say that to this man?
And he recently got dethroned of both the tag titles that he held in 2 separate indie companies. This past
Cool.
week, Matt Riddle.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What titles were these?
So, as I've mentioned before, Matt Riddle was the defender of the tag champions for the CCW, which is Coastal Championship Wrestling here in Florida, where they have shows in Florida and sometimes in Tennessee about 9 to 10 times a month. And they held him and his tag partner named Stallion Rogers held the belts for a long time, too long for my liking. And I have more respect for his tag partner because at least his partner showed up. Apparently, they don't have enough to pay him to come to more appearances, even though he was a tag team champion. So they lost the CCW Tag Team Championship belts 2 weeks ago. And then this past Sunday, they lost the BRCW Championship belts, which was the Boca Raton Championship Wrestling Company. And they lost it to the Sons of Boca, which is basically the team ran by the head of the company.
Oh.
And also, Shayna Baszler was down there as the opponent for Lacey Lane, formerly known as Kaden Carter, and she became the new BRCW champion after Ash had to vacate her title.
I saw a picture of that. I just didn't know what that was. Oh, so she was the not Shayna, but Ash was the champion.
Alex was their champion until he had to step down because of
good for her, everything. Man. Good for Shayna Baszler.
She went up against Lacey Lane and became the new champion over in BRCW. When I saw people putting up stuff on Instagram about that, I was like, holy snap. Jeffrey, did you forget that Shayna Baszler was a 2-time NXT Women's Champion and a Women's Tag Team Champion with Ronda Rousey before she turned her back on her, as well as being a tag champion with Nia Jax, having more defenses than every other women's tag team combined in the main roster?
I'm sure Jeffrey remembers. I'm pretty sure of this. But speaking of Jeffrey, why don't we highlight these things in the comments and then we'll keep going on. He says, what happens when Chad Gable come back? What's he going to think? I think we're going to get a Grande against a Grande kind of thing. We had to wait and see because I don't even know how long Gable was going to be out for. Every time I hear triple A, is that triple A? It makes me laugh. Are you laughing
because I'm saying it in Spanish?
Oh, okay. Good. That interview with Stock and Trick seemed like they were reading from a teleprompter. I promise I can read it.
Ones like that, sometimes you can be so intense that you forget what you're supposed to say. And then we want to make sure that they don't say things they're not supposed to say. We already had that bit with Tiffany and Charlotte. We didn't need to repeat.
Yeah, that was awful. That was really a train wreck. I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I walked in on somebody doing something I shouldn't have seen.
You know what that feels like?
Very uncomfortable.
Watching either Love and Hip Hop wherever versus The Real Housewives of wherever, seeing two of the women on the show going back and forth. That's what that felt like.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable. I don't like stuff like that because sometimes, like, you see that and I'm like, yo, bro, I don't want to hear about your husband cheating on you 8 times. I don't want to hear that sad shit. We got when Kevin Von Erich wrestled barefoot. I thought it was cool, and when Matt Riddle did it, it felt corny. That's hilarious. I meant Kerry Von Erich. I mean, look, I don't know how they can do it barefoot.
I don't know how anybody can do it when can wrestle barefoot. I would feel if I were a wrestler, I would feel the need to step on your toes. I would even said that. I'm like, I would too.
I saw I remember this. I mean, this is a spot that he's done on the Indies, but I remember when he first was with NXT, he had that match with Cassius Ohno, and Cassius Ohno like literally bit his foot, and I remember I was like, I did not want to. I don't know what's going on here.
You know what? How much?
What up, gang?
Dirty.
That was that's very uncomfortable.
But anyways, we also did have them. Trick grabbed the steel pipe and swung. Ricky ducks and starts hitting him, and they go back and forth. Security tries to break it up. Trick hits him hard in the midsection with the pipe and grabs the title and says, "Ricky will see this side of me up close next week."
I look forward to this though because Drake had that really really good last man stand match with Pete Dunne. I forget how long ago it was. I feel like it was last year. So I look forward to this. I think they're gonna kill it. And one of you guys was sitting in the chat. I mean, maybe this is really Trick's swan song because I was thinking like, man, then after this, what's next for Ricky? Because I don't see Ricky losing it. I mean, Oba has been quiet for like a whole month. I'm
Maybe
starting to,
Oba's just trying to get himself together.
yeah, and bring that NXT championship back. Some just screams that that's going to be his next challenger, and I'm thinking, and maybe I just want this to be cool because I mean, they're coming up here in New York in 2 weeks, and I want the card to be good. So I'm thinking maybe Oba and I almost said Trick. I'm sorry, Rick. Take the T out, Rick. I can see that being the thing. That's what I'm thinking.
After that, we get Ren Sinclair versus Zarya in the WWE Speed Women Championship Tournament first round match. And this was basically about 2 minutes and I would say about 2.5 minutes of basically Ren being very desperate, trying to make sure that she can win and beat the ever living hell out of Zarya, but it does not happen. Zarya beats her down real good and gets her with the lateral press. It was just a short match. That's what the Speed Championship is. It's a
Let me tell you something.
tournament where it all happens in under 5 minutes, and it can get very confusing, and I don't like those because I feel like it ruins the flow when you're being timed like that.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. And I was sitting there saying, this match, this title better not be when I go to MSG, but it's gonna be there, and I'm gonna be fucked. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna freaking panic because when they start doing the countdown, I might sit here and think the place is gonna freaking explode. Because anytime they get down, there's like and that siren and all that. I do not like any of this. I get a panic attack when this thing happened. Zarya, I don't know why. I kind of wanted Zarya to lose because I just wanted to see what Soul was going to do. Because Soul looked like she had lost all, not even respect, but all faith in her. She, I feel like she just looks at Zarya and just with such tremendous disgust. I was just saying, like, man, it would be funny if Zarya, because even when Zarya looked like she was going to lose, it looked like Soruka wanted to say, of course. It's supposed to be 60 degrees out here on Sunday. That's great. And 67 on Saturday. We're getting some good weather out here in New York. I got the news on. I just had it muted. What up, Mr. G? Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, you can't really even like rate this match or anything. It's there. Zarya gets the win here. So yeah, that's it.
After that, we get Kelani Jordon versus Tyra May Steele, which we had athlete versus Olympic trained athlete, which I enjoyed this match. It was a good back and forth. They had some good chemistry. I hadn't seen them really work much together in the ring, but you would think they had worked together before. I personally enjoyed this match. There was some, I wouldn't say there wasn't a lot that didn't stand out, but this was a good match. Kelani got her with the split-legged moonsault. She did it like Lani Ashley does best. And after that, we get the TNA Director of Authority, Santino Marella, on the Titantron. I have to do it every time. Good. He heard Kelani talking about not defending the title at Gold Rush, but she will be defending the title against Lou Yingli and Jordan Grace in a triple threat.
I'm so sorry. I thought you was getting ready to turn into Mario. That was so good. I know you're good. That was too good. Can I get a let's go? That's so good. That's fine. I'll do it. Woo! I'm so sorry, Chad. That was just too damn good. Like when you did it, I felt that. That was good. Santino Marella is fantastic.
Every time you talk about Santino Marella on TV.
Santino is when I heard him without the accent, I said, "You have lied to me." I was so upset.
Isn't that how we felt when Triple H called out Kofi Kingston on TV saying, "What happened to your accent?"
Yeah, that right. But I remember like a little bit before all that happened. I remember reading something and saying that he wasn't Jamaican, and I
He
remember that.
wasn't.
But yeah, and I remember reading that
He
before that.
is,
But then, but
but
when he
he's
did
not.
that, yeah, when he did the thing, I was like, oh, okay.
Not speaking with their accent out of nowhere on TV.
You know who? Because I think it's for show. What's her name? Because I haven't seen her in a long time. She used to be with the Tony D'Angelo family. I can't even think of her name.
Adriana Rizzo.
Yeah, that's because I feel like I've heard her talk, and it was like, oh, that's not really, because it just seems absurd.
It's an exaggerated Jersey sounding accent. That's what I get from it.
Jersey.
Jersey. She's trying to be Italian, but it sounds Jersey to me. I'm sorry to those from Jersey if any of them are offended.
And Lana, yeah. And Lana too. Yeah. Lana. Yeah, I remember one day I heard it. I was just like, wait, what? Just I don't know. I believe people. That's my problem. I believe people. Like I believe in George, and I don't know why.
I thought you were gonna say the other name.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. I don't want that man popping out of nowhere. I'm always scared that he's gonna pop out of my closet.
NXT. That's up. You just gotta say his name once. But Bloody Mary, you have to say it 3 times. With the Candyman, you have to say it 5.
Yeah, it was 5 for Candyman. Yeah. But him is only one name. But my fear is if I say this man's name, where is he appearing from? He might pop out of Mr. Cat, and that's not good. That would be awful. But carry on. I'm so sorry. And we'll get to the chat, but let Sabrina get to this next segment.
So we had Soruka talking to Ava Rain about her knee getting better, and it was like, yeah, I'm hearing from medical, you're making good progress, you're getting better. And she asked for her rematch against Blake Monroe at Gold Rush. And she says, yeah, you're getting better, but you still have about a month to go, and I'm not going to book you unless you're absolutely cleared and ready to go. Fatal Influence comes in, so JC can ask for her rematch at Gold Rush.
Good.
The 2 teams start bickering back and forth to try to see who's going to get their matches. And Ava excuses herself because she has to go talk to Pierce and Aldis about who from NXT is going to be in the John Cena One Last Time tournament. At least she sent them away saying like, okay, I know this is the part where you're going to argue.
This is awful.
So y'all just go. But
Sabrina Estella, you know how
that JC should get her rematch. Okay. So you can't say
I wasn't going to Sabrina Estella. I wasn't going to yell at you. I just wanted because I wanted to talk about awful Ava. You know. I know John Cena. He did some things and stuff like that, but this is a big deal. JC Jane, she deserved her rematch, and you're talking about some retirement tour. People retire a lot. Like just the other day, I just saw a guy retire. You said
retire in wrestling, apparently.
Huh?
People retire, but apparently not fully in wrestling for a lot of them.
I mean, look, I get it. John Cena, he won a title, look, I just don't like how she dismissed the great JC Jane, someone who's going to be here for the next 10 years. John Cena's not even going to be here in 2026. And I mean in WWE. I don't, because that sounded pretty grim, but he's not even going to be here. And we're talking about this final person. Just I don't know. You know who I think his final opponent should be? I have a few people. It should be Wade Barrett. I think him and the Nexus should get their revenge. And the other person is Kevin.
God knows how long.
I know, but I think he can still. I think he's in great shape and can get back in the ring. But I think also Kevin Federline. Let's run that back one more time because Kevin Federline, he beat him.
On TV.
I mean, I don't want to see him either, but I think it would be hilarious. I mean, God knows what Kevin Federline looked like now. He might look like a dot.
Would you like to bring back MGK to go against Kevin Owens once again?
I would love that too. And he just power bombs him. Like, I don't know, through like something and whatnot. Isn't he doesn't he date Megan, not Fox? I always mix them up. Not Megan. I forget these Megans. It's the one who did Jennifer Body.
Megan Fox, but they broke up.
Oh, okay. Probably she didn't like his music. I don't know.
Nope. Well, apparently he broke up with her, but that's for another day.
Well, you know what happened is because he found out she was a Kevin Owens fan, and I'm so sorry. We'll carry on. Let's get to some of these chats real quick. And I keep telling them we'll get here, and we haven't. I'm sorry. Give us a moment here, guys. We got Maurice. What's going on, Maurice? He says, "I'm here for Crash Out Trick." We got Seth.
Where's our Crash Out Trick shirt?
Yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. I need Trick and Ober in the 2026 Royal Rumble and be on the main roster going forward. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Ober. I think Ober is ready and Trick is ready. Why not? Ricky could take the mantle for the time being, and people like after because Javon has been building some momentum, so I could see him being someone who can. And I don't know when they're going to call up Ethan. So I'm just saying, if you call these two up, I think that NXT the male division will be okay for the time being. He said Ober is hibernating his banana for winter. You know how that could be taken, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, are
Okay,
you
last
okay?
I checked, monkeys, gorillas, apes do not store bananas for winter.
I don't think they do, right?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm sorry, I didn't know this. Sabrina's still so upset. Just
I'm not
so
upset at
sorry.
you. I'm
I'm so
upset. I
sorry.
wonder why Jeffrey even wrote it like that.
Don't jump the rails, please. I might do that, Jeffrey. I'm already setting out my in case I don't return the following week because I have you, Sabrina Stella. I want you to take over as the lead. I'm not letting Matt lead nothing after he bragged in my face how many times he went to high school with JC James, so he ain't leading nothing. And Jeffrey, you will have to take the mantle of the Jack Pack community. And George, I will give you absolutely nothing. I think Soul's going to turn more than Zarya. I don't think that's the move to do. I
There's
don't think so.
some people that you don't really necessarily need to turn. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be Zarya.
Yeah, and I think Zarya is the better. I mean, so if they have a vision for it, sure, but I just don't want to be swerved to be swerved. I think sometimes, like,
I mean,
wrestling.
what's next? You made her look like a surfer girl from the 2000s, like Malibu Barbie, like the dolls. What's next? You're going to turn her into a mall goth surf chick? Like, is that what you're going to go with if she
Yeah,
turns?
like what would you do with her? Right, that's the thing. Like, I could see Zarya being the monster hill. How do you? I would ask you guys in the chat. Let's be creative here. How would you book, or how would that look for a hill? Soruka. How would that look? That is my question to you guys. Yes, Ava dismissed JC. How rude. Absolutely. Awful Ava. It's not Ava, it's awful Ava. JC pinned Izzy, though, not Tatum. Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna get that soon. She's gonna beat Tatum. So please. Seth is laughing. Not K-Fed. He's probably old. He is old. He is very old. Jack is a funny guy. I told my mother recently I'm her funniest child. We got laughter. Sabrina, I meant Oba. Oba had been missing. Gorillas need
You
a break.
literally typed that he's hibernating his bananas. That makes no sense.
She got you there, Jeffrey. Sorry, buddy.
But anyways,
we're at the corner, man.
We had some black versus black going on here because we had Javon Evans go up against Saquon Sugars of Darkstate. And it was basically a battle of the OG Bouncy versus the big old muscle of Darkstate, with all the rest of them outside because they bored and they don't want to be stuck in catering again after reclaiming tag belts that they frankly shouldn't have had in the first place. But running knee, Javon just dove on Saquon during the entrance, like didn't give him no time. They just went at it. Like, he knew that he could not hold back, and he knew not to let him get a moment to even get in that ring, because if he did, he would have gotten his ass beat badly. And it was a good back and forth, and it was a pretty big upset, at least for some people, when Javon got him with a diving tornillo.
It's a beautiful move. It's honestly a really, really beautiful move. This was cool. I was moving around a little bit during this match, but from some of the stuff that I saw, I thought that was it Sugar? Sugar. It's a funny name. It is such a funny name. Even his pose, I think they had like the pictures up of him when they're posing and everything like that. You know, the first is, and that is such a black pose. But I thought that they gave him both. He got some offense and he looked pretty solid in there. It was really for Javon and showed that he can overcome the odds. And I think that it looks like so not this week, the following week is every title or most of these titles. I mean, it sounds like it's got a lot of freaking titles on the line for this Gold Rush, but it's looking like Javon, and because I was thinking maybe like they would do Javon, Leon Slater, and the Hardys to go against Darkstate, but I think they're gonna want those tag ties on the line, so I could see Leon and Javon being the team to go against Darkstate for that. So, and that's cool. I mean, I think that would be, and it sounds like that would be the first time that for a title anyway, tag ties where you have an NXT and TNA guy teaming up to go against whatever champions they are, because usually this set of guys from this brand going against this guys on this brand. So we'll see how this all turns out. But it was cool. Pretty cool.
So after that, we get Mariah May Monroe. I caught myself.
Hey.
I was reading from the blog. That's why.
Okay.
But anyways, Mariah May Monroe is chatting with Ava Raine about Gold Rush, and Ava does talk to Blake and as if Soul is cleared, she is going to get her rematch against you because she technically never lost the belt. Mariah May scoffs, but Ava says it is up to Medical. Ava gets a little snoopy trying to see who is calling Mariah May Monroe. And she says her better half wants an interview next week. And we all had that, some of us had that same face as Ava, like, who's her better half?
Yeah.
Because the only thing I was thinking of, I thought that tag title was supposed to be your better half. So you're going to be talking to a belt of metal and leather next week?
That is interesting because I did wonder where are we going with this. Is her better half where the demon side? She's talking to her demon side, which might be a little kooky and stuff like that. But I don't know who's her better half at all. I can't think of anyone. You know who I was? You know who I was thinking of? Who her better half was? That's right, Timeless One, Tony Storm. But I don't think she's allowed to, make an appearance here. Because I can't think of anybody. So part of me just think her better half is that demon side, but I don't know. That's just a guess there.
It's just a guess.
Or better yet, maybe it's the Don Callis family.
Anyways, the calling are backstage, and Tatum Paxley is having a meltdown about costing Izzy and Lola the trios match against Fatal Influence. And Izzy tells her, you can't keep making irrational decisions based on how you feel and your emotions. And that you work so hard to become champion, and if you don't start thinking before you act, you're going to lose that title as quickly as you want it. And she cares, and she wants the title in the culling for a long time. She thanks Izzy for being a good friend. She thanks Sean and Nico for always being by her side and supporting her. And she promises to be a lot more selective from here on out. But there's one more thing she needs to do next week to feel satisfied. Just one more thing, and they're like, what? Like looking at her like she's crazy from running.
You know what? I want her to say and give her JC her rematch, and that's what it sounded like. So good job, Tatum, for realizing that you cheated. But that's my only 2 cents here. That's all I got.
And now we get to the very main thing that we have all been waiting for.
Whoa!
Muy Grande celebration with Chelsea Green and All Eagle Ethan Page being flagged by Chelsea Slagent in Agent A with a big old cake and everything with all the Canadian colors. And Ethan welcomes us to the Muy Grande Campeón celebration, or celebration if you only speak English. They're two of the
Hey, that was me.
They're two of the greatest Canadians ever, and they don't have a lot of fans in locker rooms worldwide because they say things and they come true. They said they were going to become AAA mixed tag team champions, and here they are. But also, Ethan is the reigning, defending, greatest ever NXT North American champion, proving his point once again that he is the greatest North American to ever lace up a pair of boots in a WWE ring. Chelsea says, I understand as a fellow Canadian and mixed tag team champion, she's despised and jealousy is a disease, and this locker room is riddled with it. Who can blame them after all? Name a more iconic duo in wrestling than them. It's like literally those pictures that you see, like, name a more iconic duo than so-and-so. I'll wait. Ethan says this wasn't a mistake. They didn't fall into the titles. They said it and it came true. And they'll defend them against anybody and everybody. Chelsea says, let's not let this ruin the nights. I got margaritas, and she
Ooh.
just wishes that was here. But Ethan says, do not say that name because it'll ruin everything. She keeps trying to say his name. Ethan keeps cutting her off. She points at the cake. Ethan's like, just say it, and they'll deal with him. And then it looks like Chelsea's about to say, and she's like, Alba, you do it. And Alba says his name, and he appears, but not from the cake like they were thinking, but towards the entrance. And Joe says sometimes the straightforward approach is the best. But you took my advice the wrong way and forgot what real talent looks like. Ethan says, just cut to the chase. What do you want? And he says, I want a title shot for the Triple A Mixed Tag Team Championships. And Chelsea's like, I don't know how the metric system works wherever you're from, but you don't have a partner. And he says, I do have a partner. Someone who can do the spin, wave hands side to side, stand beside him and chant, we believe. And he was going to keep it a secret, but if you want to know it right here, right now, all you got to do is say her name. Snaps his fingers, the song plays, say her name, and she appears, we believe, in Thea. Thea smashes some cake into Chelsea's face, breaks a decoration over Ethan's head, and hits him with some cake in the face too. And they're spinning, smiling, and they wave their hands side to side. And that is how the show ended.
I never understand. So the cake behind him, right? I guess it was supposed to be a design of a cake, but it really wasn't a cake. And I'm like, what's the whole purpose of that cake? Like, you can't eat it. I don't know. It just.
So, here's the thing. A lot of those times, cakes like that are used for like bachelor parties for when the entertainment comes out of the cake to dance on the bachelor or the bachelorette celebrating before they get married.
That's true.
And
I
all
forgot
that
about that. No,
That's
that's
what they're.
true. It's just because, like, I'm like, because it's not a real cake, so you can't cut it. And when I saw Thea come out of it, like she took the top off and everything, I don't know. Anytime I see those cakes, I said, "What's the purpose of this cake? I can't eat it." Like, I would be very upset that I cannot eat this cake.
Jeffrey, I was trying to keep it PG. That's why I did not say that word.
Okay, way to go, Jeffrey. Jeffrey said, "Well, I'm."
Bachelor party. That enough says it. I didn't need to say it.
"Oh, a stripper." I read that in Jeffrey's voice.
Like missing a second R in the word.
Oh my God, you definitely on some teacher mode today. Look at you.
I work in a tutoring center for kids, and one of the things we teach is reading. So yes.
Oh, that's good. They got a great teacher in you because I just want to octopus them.
And firm with them. We can't yell if we wanted to.
Look, he says, "Oh, my bad." Look, he said it's bad. He said it's bad. That's been done in TV. Yeah, but it was an actual cake. Like, this is not a cake. I'm hoping I'm clear speaking like I'm making sense here. It's just not a cake. Like, how would you hop out of that cake? I guess you just throw it there. Either way, it is what it is. But the segment was cool. It was fine.
He's probably right. Thank you.
There we go. There we go. He says, "How's that?" He put that in all caps too. Damn, he made that very big.
Listen, I've called him more on his stuff, so I will always have fun doing that.
But I thought the segment was cool. I hold my grudge against Thea Hell, so I was very upset. Chase U was on my TV today. Thea Hell, what's next? They're gonna get Icky Men back just to piss me off. I feel like I'm just being taunted now and whatnot. Why? What is that? What is happening tonight here, Sabrina Estella? I don't know. And I did see your chat earlier, Jeffrey, when you said it took me an hour for the Don Callis card. Yes, it took me a minute. I throw it out every now and then. The next episode will probably be under 5 minutes. Give it time here. But yeah, it was fine. I thought it was a decent episode of NXT. NXT is honestly, and I was talking to the executive consultant earlier today and said, NXT is my favorite show of the week. I know what I'm going to expect and what's going to happen. Some shows are stronger than others, but this was a decent show. Decent show. I thought I had a great open. I did the six woman tag match was a great way to open up the show, and we had some chaos like NXT usually deliver, and the segment at the end where we got what was it, Joe and Thea going against Chelsea and Ethan. So yeah. And this man said, "Man, I miss jacket time." I do not.
Why did you have to bring that up in front of the one person on the show that did not like them?
I did not. This man wrestled in a jacket. Everyone, Maurice is no longer. I don't think he's in the chat anymore. But he was sitting here and said, "Come on, man, Nikki Man is all right." And I'm like,
Are you kidding? That man would annoy the ever living hell out of this. I mean, before jacket time became a thing.
Oh yeah, no, very much so. I remember when they were. I want to say this was before the 2.0 stuff, and he would wrestle in the jacket. I said, "Why is he wrestling in the jacket?" And it's almost like if someone took it off, he put it back on. What are you doing here?
That's his thing. I mean, it's hard to forget about the wrestler that wrestled in a jacket.
It's behavior like that makes me want to hit a power driver on a giraffe. I'm sorry, I have beefs with giraffes at the moment. But that's really the show. I think that this is the very first time we've kept this under almost a half, because we usually can go very, very long here, but we kept it short here. I mean, shout out to you, Sabrina. You was able to dissect the show, and we were able to get through it very, very quickly. So we hope that you guys enjoyed it. But real quick before we do
we didn't have somebody in this show that would either tell us facts of things we already know or mention things to get our blood boiling to the point where I'm going to start giving him multiple middle names until I stick with one that I like. So
that is, I always love when you goes Matthew. I told EC this. I was in this. She calls him Matthew, like from Boys Meet World, and I just think it's hilarious. This is really big.
He's going to get several middle names.
That'd be us when he tells us something.
What's going to come out if he says something that makes me irritated.
Yeah, we miss Maddog. But yeah, he was telling us stuff that we already knew, and then he was sitting here and saying, "I just thought you needed to know." I was watching wrestling in the '90s, so I think I have some kind of knowledge about things.
To know some stuff here and there, and
you do research. You do research. You do research. Someone tried to little bro me once and was like, "Hey, what do you know about this thing in wrestling? You wasn't even around." I'm like, just because I wasn't alive to see Dusty Rhodes get his ass kicked don't mean I don't know a thing or two about wrestling. I do research. I do read. Although I like the books. I like the books with pictures in it. Like I was reading this book and there's this cat and he was wearing a hat. It's a pretty good book. Just want to throw it out there. But I'm gonna play this commercial real quick. Because the cruise thing, we would be remiss if we didn't play, so we're gonna play it, and we're gonna plug the show, and this is really the show, so let's plug it. So WrestleMania tickets are pricey, and if you can go, that's cool. But if not, why don't you join us on Popular Review around WrestleMania weekend in 2026? We'll go on a cruise, watch some wrestling, and have a good time and create some fantastic memories. And you can hit myself or any of us on the Unpopular Review team, and we will make it happen. Real quick, let's hit these things and do some plugs there. Good times we had in NXT. NXT is a fun time. Absolutely. Did you know yeah, that's him. I went to high school with JC Jane. He's close to getting a blockbuster from me. Did you know Bret Hart wears pink and black? No. You know what? As I've been watching wrestling a long time, that is a new fact for me. And we got Cat in the Hat. That took me out. Yeah, no, that was a book. It was this cat, and he wore a hat. I thought it was so cool. I was like, wow, I never knew about this book, so it's fantastic. And Jeffrey, he writes Russell Cruz. So, real quick, we'll just plug some shows. So Raw and SmackDown are going to be put together. Yesterday, Z did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, Willie couldn't be on, and hopefully next week he's on. But the Raw and SmackDown team, they're going to just be put together, and they're going to review both Raw and SmackDown. So check them out. They're going to go live after Raw. NXT, we go live after NXT go off the air. Give us 10 minutes. We like to talk a little stuff before we go on air, and then we are here to talk NXT with you guys. So we hope that you enjoy the content that we provide here on Unpopular Review. And on Wednesdays at after 10, All Elite Heat, you have Cactus Katie, you have Venomous Venny, and you have the Sheriff, and they talk about all things AEW. And I might pop up in the chat every now and then because I want to hear about the Don Callis stuff. I love them. I don't know if you guys know this. And I feel like that's really much it. And the only thing on entertainment side, um, the only thing on entertainment is I do geek news with one Cedar Superior. We talk about all things geeky. We're not news reporters, but just nerds, and we just talk about little things like movies and stuff and a whole bunch of things. It's a good time. So with all that said, that's all the stuff going on Unpopular Review. Continue to follow us, hit that like, hit that notification, hit that subscribe button. And Sabrina Estella, you put out content yourself. You've been doing a fantastic job. Your content is continuously growing, and I'm very proud of you. So why don't you tell these people listening what you do when you're not doing Unpopular Review stuff?
Well, when I'm not doing UPR, I am recording wrestling matches throughout Central Florida and occasionally South as the unofficial camerawoman. I was just at a show this past weekend in Miami, and we had Gangrel main event defending the CCW Heavyweight Championship belt, and he too pulled a sneaky trick to keep the belt. He did not hit his opponent with it, but he did pull the tights where the ref couldn't see.
There we go. Well, listen.
And he apologized over and over again after his opponent kept calling him out, and he's like, I did what I had to do. What would I have after this if I had lost, kind of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, not the best way to go about it, but I'm not the one calling the shots.
Sabrina Estella, I do have to sit here and say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's what Uncle Eddie would want. Uncle Eddie is smiling in the heavens at this great use of cheating. So I sit here and tell you guys, cheat, but not on your spouse. That's terrible. Do not do that. But cheat in life, because Eddie Guerrero would love that. Content wise here. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the plug there. Yes, the Big Pot Theory podcast, both me and Shay Sawyer. So we're still doing the show, but we're going to do every other week for the remainder of the year. Maybe next year we'll get back to a more consistent base, but for the time being, that's what we are doing. Matter of fact, I want to actually give credit to Jeffrey because we're trying to get some YouTube content in. It's kind of hard sometimes because of time and life and all that stuff, but we want to get back into it. But Jeffrey suggested, hey, why don't you guys review Survivor Series 2001? And I remember watching Survivor Series 2001. I was in junior high watching this. And I watched it back, and I've told the boys, let's all watch it back, and then let's review it on Thursday, and we should have it up and loaded. That sounded so unprofessional. But we should have the video up and going Sunday. Or somewhere on the weekend. I'm sorry, somewhere on the weekend. So I look forward to it. I do have to sit here and say, I hate when they dub music, though. Like, I was watching this, and I remember Puddle of Mud. That was the main theme. I had to Google just to be sure. And when I was watching this video back, and there was some generic ass music, and I said, "Where's the Puddle of Mud?" But meanwhile, they had Edge's theme, who had Rob Zombie. I don't know. I just hate the dub stuff. It just takes me out and stuff like that because they had a lot of cool music once upon a time, and for these pay-per-views and stuff, and hearing it be dubbed, it sucks. So, but we should have that up and going by the weekend. So with that all said, I think we plugged everything. Continue to follow Unpopular Review on all the social media platforms from Facebook, YouTube as well, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. We're all there. Thank you for continuing to support us, and we hope that you guys tune in tomorrow for the AEW All Elite Heat crew. They are pretty well. They are great. And I do agree with you, Jeffrey, that Z did do it. I didn't stay long to watch, but I know that he did a great job because he's capable doing a solo show, and he has I'm not going to say aura, that's such an abused word, but he's able to carry himself very well. So with all that said, we want to thank you guys.
Hey now, Riz.
These words, man. You know, as I approach my 40s, I sit here and go like, these are the words. Like, I had my niece recently said 6'7", 6'7", and I strangled her. I said, "What does that mean? Tell me
I
everything you
was
know."
thinking about this last time.
But I forgot. I don't know these.
It's like it means so or some random things. I don't remember.
Well,
who
you know
gave
what?
us
I'm glad that you Googled it, but I wanted to know what my 7 niece knew. I want to say, what do you know about this? Because I don't think you know. I don't think you know what's going on. I think you're just trying to be a part of the trend. I need to know. And then I proceed to hit her with a fallaway slam. That's the kind of uncle I am. Never. You should never have an uncle that likes wrestling because that's me. Anyway, guys, that's the show. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Tune in tomorrow for AEW All Elite Heat, and you guys be well, be safe, and have a fantastic night. And Jeffrey says, just real quick before we hit it, still don't know what 6'7" means, but Sabrina Estella is here with the knowledge here to let us all know.
Urban Dictionary. That's how you know I'm old, because I still use Urban Dictionary.
Listen, don't you start that with me, because I still laugh at when you said Kurt Angle and modern. Like, that's still funny to me. I said old. Anyway, guys, thank you. And you know what? Jeffrey's birthday is next week, and we hope that you tune in. What day is it on your, even if it's not on Tuesday, we will still sing happy birthday to you, because you have been very loyal to Unpopular Review. I could call you a friend. You know, like we chatter sometimes. He sent me cat memes, so I know that this guy is good in my book. So we'll be here to say happy birthday. We will celebrate your birthday on Tuesday. I mean, yeah, sure, you could do it on the other shows, but it's not as cool as the NXT trio, duo, however you want to say. It's always a party over here. And he says it's the 11th. What day is the 11th? Okay. I'm doing a quick
It's next Tuesday.
Oh, This thing came out of nowhere and just blinded me. All right, cool. So you'll be here with us on Tuesday. So see you Tuesday, Jeffrey. And for the rest of you guys, enjoy the rest of your night.